Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast. It might sound a little bit different today because I'm not on my normal setup, but I wanted to provide a brief update on the accounting firm pay cuts and layoffs. Last week it was announced that EY, Deloitte, and PwC are going to be cutting pay by 20% in the UK. And then Bloomberg came out with an article that might not be enough and that they might still lay people off. And we've seen before, based on the news, that the UK and Australia are the hardest hit of the accounting firms. And the reason in this Bloomberg article they said is that the accounting firms aren't set up to hold capital. And I've spoken about this before about how the Big Four needs to change and they need to hold more capital for times like this. It's just not a good business model to have zero capital. And those are the companies and businesses that are going to be going bankrupt the soonest. And I don't think the accounting firms are going to go bankrupt just because they have statutorily mandated work, but it's just not good. And I think they will have to furlough employees in the UK. Some of the accounting firms have already done this, like BDO, but they need to come up with a better business model to not only cut pay, but also to be able to hold capital. And if they need to pay partners less, that's fine, but it's just so in the downturn that they can keep their employees and they can keep compensation pretty much the same, because if they don't adopt this right now, and if there's another pandemic or if we have a second wave, then this is just going to happen all over again. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the UK and see what happens there. And it's obviously going to affect the mid-tier accounting firms the most. It's already affecting them more than the others right now. And that's going to be phase one of this whole thing, is the mid-tier accounting firms. And then because they have the smaller clients, but eventually in the economy, that's going to trickle up. And I'm not really worried about this in the United States because the United States has passed about 12 trillion in stimulus, and you haven't seen the accounting firms in the United States really lay people off. And even in the United States, there's still tons of job postings on the internet, and a lot of them have to do with unique skills. And I think that's important for people to understand right now, is you need to develop unique skills. And a lot of these unique skills have to do with technology, like data analytics, and then also restructuring. There's a lot of jobs revolved around restructuring because a lot of companies are looking at their supply chain, but they're also looking at bankruptcy and maybe merging and acquiring other companies during this time period. But also there's a ton of technology that's out there that the Big Four accounting firms need to utilize to help their clients. And there's a lot of different softwares. And one of the softwares I saw a lot of open positions for is Workday. And a lot of people are switching over to Workday implementations. So that's some skills that people can develop during this time, is looking at those job postings, see what skills are in there. And we're going to be posting more job postings on our website and highlighting the skills in there, just not only to highlight the Big Four accounting firms are still hiring, but provide an overview of the skills that people can be developing during this time. So that's going to be today's podcast, providing a quick update on pay cuts and layoffs, but also providing a little bit of positive overview of the fact that there's still job openings. But it's not going to be job openings of the same old positions. It's new skills and new technologies that people need to learn. So thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast and to our YouTube channel.